Hi, it's Carlina from foodindustry.com. You know that moment, right? You're standing in the grocery aisle, you're staring at two products that look almost identical, but one has that famous brand name and, of course, a much higher price tag. And you just have to wonder, is it really worth it? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and get to the truth about private label.
And let's be real, if you felt that little sting of shock looking at your grocery receipt lately, yeah, you are definitely not alone. I am right there with you. Food costs are just up, and every single dollar counts, which really makes you start to question things. Like, are brand names actually worth all that extra money? Is that famous logo on the box a sign of better quality, or are we all just paying for a name? That is the exact question we are digging into today. All right, so let's start with the big one, the most obvious piece of the puzzle, the price. You know that loyalty you have to your favorite brands? Well, it might be costing you a lot more than you think. I mean, just look at this breakdown. The price gap is, well, it's staggering. Seriously, let's just take breakfast cereal for a second. You could be paying 54% less for the store brand. 54%. And it's pretty much the same story for coffee, butter, bacon. The savings are consistently huge across the board. And yeah, I know a few dollars here and there might not seem like a huge deal, but trust me, it adds up, and it adds up fast. When you look at a full grocery basket, the average family could save around $2,500 a year. A year, just by making that switch. I mean, think about that for a second. What could you do with an extra 2,500 bucks? So you've got to ask, right? Where is all that extra money going? Well, here's a hint. It's not necessarily going into better ingredients. A huge chunk of that price difference you're paying, it's for those massive national ad campaigns, all that R&D, and yeah, that flashy, super elaborate packaging that's designed to grab your attention. Okay. I know exactly what you're thinking. Carolina, cheaper is great, but does the store brand stuff actually taste any good? And that is the million-dollar question, isn't it? For decades, there's been this stigma that a lower price automatically means lower quality. Well, it is time to bust that myth wide open. You know, the old way of thinking was that private labels were just, cheap, no-frills knockoffs. But the reality today, oh, it is completely different. In fact, in countless blind taste tests, store brands are consistently winning or tying with their big-name competitors. Seriously. And hey, it's not just the experts. Shoppers are totally noticing. This data here shows that a whopping 80% of us, you and me, believe that private label quality is just as good, if not sometimes even better than the big names. The tide has definitely turned. And if you need more proof, check this out. This quote just says it all. You've got a professional chef, right, in a blind taste test for mac and cheese, and they picked Velveeta as the best tasting one. It just goes to show, when you take away that fancy box and all the marketing, it all just comes down to taste. Okay, but now we get to the real secret. The one that I promise you will change how you look at the grocery store forever. We've talked price, we've talked quality, but the biggest bombshell has been hiding in plain sight this whole time. Because the biggest secret, it's not even about the price tag. It's about who is actually making the food that goes inside that less flashy box. Okay, get ready for this. In so many cases, the store brands are made in the exact same factories as the national brands. That Kirkland Signature coffee from Costco you love, yep, it's custom roasted by Starbucks. That Kirkland bacon, it's produced by Hormel. Insiders have confirmed it again and again. They'll literally run a batch for a famous brand and then just swap the packaging to the store brand's box, often using the exact same recipe. Mind blown. So now that you're in on this little secret, how do you use this knowledge to your advantage? Let's get into it. Here is your official Smart Shopper playbook for saving money without ever sacrificing quality. Okay, first things first, switch the simple stuff. We're talking about basic commodities like flour, milk, sugar, eggs. They're basically identical, so that's an easy win right there. Next up, pay attention to the store's tiers. A lot of stores have a premium private label, like Kroger's Private Selection, and honestly, they can often beat the name brands for less money. Third, do a little digging. A quick search online can often reveal some of those leaked partnerships. And finally, save your brand name budget for those really unique specialty items, where that one specific recipe is everything to you. You know the ones I'm talking about. Look, the big takeaway here is that this isn't about just being cheap. It's about being smart. It's about understanding how the whole game works and using that knowledge to get the absolute best quality for the best possible price. It really puts you back in control of your grocery budget. So, I'm really curious. Next time you're at the store, what's the one switch you're willing to try? Maybe it's the coffee, maybe it's the cereal, or maybe it's that bacon. Just give it a shot. You might be surprised. Remember to click that subscribe button and visit foodindustry.com for more info.